Life has no meaning, no reason, and no choice. Well, it's very wet and cloudy. It may rain on me today, but I gotta get out of here. Let's go. Hey everybody, how are you all doing? Today's Wednesday, so I am out for the hike, trying to avoid the rain. Going to a new place today called Skyline Open Ridge, something like that. I found it early this morning, about 6 a.m. I thought I had an idea where I was going the night before. 6 a.m. It's like, I'm not feeling it. And so I just looked at the maps and said, I'm going here. So that's where we're going. I don't really have many announcements to tell you, but I think the biggest thing on my mind is my YouTube channel and the free workshop about the 10 ox herding pictures. Many of you already know about this, and it's gonna be, whoa, there's a stop sign, but they didn't stop. When my YouTube channel gets to 500 subscribers, we are gonna do this free workshop. I think right now we're at 485, something around there. So if you've been watching my videos and haven't subscribed yet, please do that. I usually don't try to ask people to like my videos and subscribe. I might say it very quickly in one of these videos, but I don't do it very often. And the reason why I don't do it very often is because since I started the channel, I wanted it to grow organically. I didn't want to force people to subscribe or pay people to subscribe or promote it, my channel. I always get emails about somebody who can make my YouTube channel to 1 million subscribers. Not interested. I want to happen organically. So it's slow, but it's organic. And that's probably the most important to me. So if you haven't already, and you've been watching the videos, you're finding some benefit from them, go ahead and subscribe to that. If you're new to the channel, just check out some videos first and see if it's something that resonates with you. So remember that. It's coming up. 500 subscribers, free workshop, more details to come. I'm going to do more driving and less talking. So let's get going. The weather did say it was going to be a 40% chance of rain. But I would say this is more like 100. The parking lot is empty. I guess I got the trail to myself today. Let's see where we are actually. Okay, well, looks like we're actually at Russian Ridge Open Space Preserve. I thought we were at Skyline Ridge, but maybe we'll be hiking over there. I have no idea. Anyways, let's just get to it. I'm not really sure which way I'm going. Beware, rattlesnakes are especially active in warm weather. Use extra caution in this area. Well, luckily we're in cold weather, and I think I'm going to go this way. This might be a shortcut. I don't think so. It's definitely that time. Well, the battery on my receiver for my microphones is dead. I just broke my tripod, so it no longer stands on its own. But that's not going to stop this moment. It's all the truth. This is called Horseshoe Lake because I guess it's shaped as a horseshoe. I wonder if we can get a better image of this horseshoe shape. Let's see if I can do that. There's definitely been a lot of damage from the storms we've been having. That should work as a tripod. Well, I didn't make it to Skyline Ridge and see the peak, but I was very happy to walk around Horseshoe Lake. I've been asked in the past, like, what teaching in the last 26 years has stood out the most? And there's a lot of teachings that have resonated ever since I started practicing. And one is a teaching from Zen Master Sungsang. I've talked about this before. I might have mentioned it in the last week's stream with Empty Gate Zen Center. The teaching from Zen Master Sungsang is, life has no meaning no reason and no choice. Now, right when people hear this, they may dislike this video, but in the past, people got very upset about this. What do you mean life has no meaning? Life has amazing meaning to it. So let's look at that very closely. The first line, life has no meaning. What was he pointing to? In the Human Root poem, it says that human beings come into this world with nothing. We leave this world with nothing, right? That's very interesting. We come in this world with nothing. We spend a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of money gathering things, building up things, holding things, so we could be happy. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but as the poem states, that when we leave this body, this earth, we can't take anything with us. In my book, I talked a little bit about how I got into practice. Basically, it came to the point where I lost the relationship I was in. I lost my job. I started to lose my ability to play guitar. My parents got divorced. Some friends kind of disappeared when I got separated from my partner. So it made me think about, what is the meaning of life? As I was looking around at that time, it wasn't just my life, but everybody I saw was losing something. They were chasing after something to make them happy, to make them content, to make them secure. But then they would lose that thing, and then they would suffer. So intuitively, I knew something wasn't quite right. What's the meaning of life? This doesn't make any sense. Everybody makes meaning in their own mind. I remember one time at the end of a 3-month retreat, we had the circle talk, and that's a chance for everybody to go around and talk about their experience of the retreat. And there was many different responses. Some people thought, wow, this retreat was amazing. I got so much energy and some wisdom from it. Some people said, I couldn't wait for this retreat to go over. It was horrible. Some people thought it was exciting. Some people thought it was boring. And as people were going around, I was wondering, well, wow, there's many different perspectives. And people gave this retreat some kind of meaning. But who's correct? And we see that with people in this world. Everybody makes meaning in their own lives. But what is the true meaning of this life? So when I was going through this experience when I was younger in Seattle, it made me really question about what is true meaning, because intuitively, again, I knew something wasn't quite right. Even though I knew people too who had everything, wonderful job, wonderful house, great relationship, but something still wasn't quite right. They would even tell me this. I have everything, but something's not quite right. So this is what we're talking about when we talk about life has no meaning. We come into this world with nothing. We're going to leave with nothing. But the teaching from Zen Master Seungsang continues. But we have our practice. Now, in this case, it's Zen practice, but it can be any kind of spiritual practice. We have our practice to look inside and investigate this life. And naturally, no meaning changes to great meaning. But this great meaning isn't just an idea that we created. It's about the bigger picture about how to be a human being. The next line is, life has no reason. So when I understood that, or when I started questioning about the meaning of life, then automatically what appeared in my mind was, what's the reason for living? You know, I had kind of some suicidal tendencies when I was a teenager, like 13 years old. It wasn't severe, but it was definitely very strong. And again, when everything started falling apart in my early 20s, I was wondering, what is the reason? What's the reason to live? If life has no meaning, What is the point of all this? Why am I alive? And I didn't talk about this in my book, but there was a time when I remember I was driving my car back home from work. And I started to drive really fast. And I remember seeing a kind of stone wall up ahead. And I just remember flooring it, just going as fast as I could, heading towards the wall. I'm not even sure why. It was just a strong urge just to go. And then right as I was approaching the wall, again, there was this intuitive voice, that's all I can remember, to be honest, saying, try something else. And I don't even know what that meant. But I let off the gas and turned the car, and then a lot of fear appeared. I'm like, what am I doing? I think I'm going crazy. So eventually I ended up practicing Zen, and that I definitely wrote about in my book if you want to check that out. Going back to Zen Master Seung Sung's teaching, when we find great meaning, then that means we find great love, where we see that we are not separate from anything in this world. When great meaning appears, then there's a great reason. And it's more of an intuitive response to this world, where we truly connect, when we truly engage, reason appears by itself. And the last line is, no choice turns into great choice. So in our Zen practice, at least in the quantum school of Zen, every morning before we practice, we recite the 4 great vows. And the first one is, sentient beings are numberless, we vow to save them all. Sometimes when we look at that line, first of all, it seems impossible. How do we save all sentient beings? And sometimes it looks like it appears that there's a little ego in there. Oh, sentient beings are numberless. We vow to save them all. I'm a great Buddhist. I'm going to save all these people. But that's not what it's pointing to. Even the Diamond Sutra points to this, that there is no separation between myself and all other beings. We are all other beings. So this vow, again, comes from this connection to this world. And if we actually look at these 3 things, great meaning, great reason, and great choice, they're actually not 3 separate things. There's just one thing. And that means this moment. How can I help? So many of the times we don't have this connection, right? Maybe we're self-absorbed, or we're putting too much energy into our thinking and feeling. So we have this vow to point us to the correct direction. And when I mean correct, I don't mean right or wrong. Again, when we truly connect, we just respond to this world with love and compassion. I remember one time when I was a monk, a nun told me that true freedom means no choice. And I could not understand that. Because usually, especially here in America, I'm sure it's like this in other parts of the world, but usually we think that, oh, freedom means I can do whatever I want, I can say whatever I want, I'm free. But that's attachment to the idea of freedom. She was saying true freedom means no choice. And I was looking back at during my monk life. You know, I just moved from the Providence Zen Center to Empty Gate Zen Center. And in my head, I had a lot of choices, a lot of freedom. And that only became a hindrance in my own life. It wasn't until I got married and my son was born, Miles, some of you know. But when he was born, then I understood what she meant by true freedom means no choice. Lying in bed, 3 a.m., baby's crying. The sound of the cry, connecting to the sound of that cry, just get up and do it. There's really nothing to think about. And the more we just put energy into thinking about our life or thinking about what we're going to do in our life, the more we're dissatisfied. The more we let go. Wake up to this moment and just do it. Then we find freedom. We find clarity, love, and compassion. So this is the meaning of no meaning, no reason, no choice, turns into great meaning, great reason, and great choice. Another way of saying that is the great love, great compassion, and the great bodhisattva way. Those are my thoughts for the day. I just noticed that it's starting to rain over there, so I'm going to pack up my stuff and get to the car. Let me know in the comments what you think about this teaching. And when you hear this line, no meaning, no reason, no choice, what comes up for you? How do you relate to that? All right, I will see you in the next video.